Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Backyard Beer Brothers. You're here with your host Rory. What I'm going to do today, I'm just going to be reviewing one beer, and it's one that I've had for a little while. Would have arrived a couple of months ago. It's been sitting in my fridge, been tempted to drink on multiple occasions, and that's this beer here. So this is from Hope Brewery. This is going to be our first beer from New South Wales. So this is a brewery that was set up in New South Wales back in 2014. But the reason why I've been wanting to drink it is because it's a chocolate milk porter. So definitely starting to get into my darker beers, especially when they have a couple of flavors in them. You know, when it comes to sort of flavored dark beers, I find they're always sort of hit and miss. Either you get an amazing beer and it tastes really good, you can actually pick up the flavors that they mention, or there's just words on the can that don't actually mean anything because it just tastes exactly like a stout or a porter in that case. So I've looked on Untapped, seen a couple of reviews. So this beer here, I think it scored it was a 3.72. No, actually I'm wrong there. It's 3.74 out of 5. So fairly high. My predictions, I'm hoping it's going to be a good beer. A lot of people said you could actually taste the chocolate and vanilla coming through. Whether or not you'll be able to taste that from the first sip to the last sip, because again, with a lot of these flavors, they sort of tend to fade. You get a delicious first mouthful, but by the time you get to the end, you can't actually taste any of the flavors they bring into it. Infused with milk sugar, cocoa, and vanilla extract, this limited release brew offers authentic chocolate and caramel flavors with a tempered bitterness and a sweetish finish. Sounds good to me. The other thing that I really like, just looking at the can, they've got it so it's almost like you've got a chocolate wrapper that they've actually started to undo a little bit, and you can actually see the chocolate blocks in the background. I really like that. I know exactly what I'm getting myself in for. Boom! Looking good, mate. From terrible to terrific. Alright. Not really getting much of the smell of any chocolate or cocoa coming through, but we'll have to see. Does smell good though. Does sort of have that rich, almost like the almost like a sort of coffee taste or smell to it, like a very light coffee smell. But let's just get into it. The taste is where the money's at, right? Gee. Oh man, it's delicious. The good news is it's not overly sweet at all. It's definitely very creamy, very rich. Has that like bitterness you'd expect from a dark beer. It's a bitterness that I actually really like, so I could definitely come back for more. It's actually really good. Good mouthfeel. The bitterness isn't sharp at the back of the mouth. As well as that, the other good thing is the flavour sort of lingers as well, which I really like. Some beers you drink them and you're like, oh man, it tastes real good. Boom, seconds later the flavour's gone. No, Hope Brewery, doing good things with this. If it is only a limited release, I'd say start pumping shup on this. So what would I give it? I'll probably give it like a 3.5. As far as the chocolate notes or the vanilla notes, kind of lacking a little bit there. But if you took that out of it completely, if you just had a Hope Porter and I drank that and I wasn't expecting to have these coffee or vanilla notes coming through, then it probably would score a little bit higher. It is a delicious beer, but just because I was expecting a little bit more, unfortunately it loses a couple of points. Would I drink it again? Probably not. There's a whole lot of other different beers out there that I want to try. But if you're looking at, if you love porters, you love that sort of deep bitterness, that rich creaminess that you get from porters and stouts, then I definitely recommend giving this a go. But other than that, looks like we got to the end of the episode. Now if you like what you saw, feel free to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, would really appreciate it. The other thing though is if you have any beers that you think we would like to review, whether you think it's a really good beer and you're wanting to get it out there, or whether you think it's a terrible beer and you just like more people to know so they don't get burnt buying it, leave a comment and we'll get around to it. Always wanted to try new things, but other than that, we'll leave you to it. Have a good one. Yeah.